Whoa, slippery corner. We got some footage from the Grant Park Cat 2-3 criterium. This is day number 3 of Speed Week in Athens. Sorry, Atlanta. The night before was in Athens. This is in a park in Atlanta. Pretty not technical course. Does the first corner there, up at the top of the hill. Significant climb, just like the day before in Athens. I don't know what I was expecting coming down here, but I didn't think we were going to get two super hilly crits. But anyways, this is the descent, super chill. This is one of the corners we're coming into. It's a strong word for it though. You could pedal through it. And then we kind of weave our way through. I kept getting confused as to when the next corner was coming up, since that one was a serious corner, and became much worse when it got rainy. You can see the ground is a little bit wet right here, and it started to pour as the race went on. This is like the first couple laps still, and it's just like a little wet, and it just continued to get worse as we raced. And this corner here, the second to last one, just kept getting slicker and slicker every time. There was like a manhole cover on the outside that people were finding, and some mud on the inside, and then some paint too, I think. It was just bad news bears in the rain. And then out of it, it immediately goes uphill. And this is the final corner here. You're going uphill still to the line. The hardest part of the climb was probably before the corner, but it didn't stop going uphill all the way to the line. Pretty long, finishing straight. The laps were a lot longer than the last couple of days too, almost 2 minutes. But just wanted you to see what a lap looked like before it got too rainy, because the rain made the camera not as great. But basically what ended up happening in the early part of the race is my one teammate in the race, Connor, got off the front by himself and just kind of sat out there and dangled and flexed all those sea level watts that he found. And everybody in the group who thought they were strong enough was trying to bridge across to him, and I was just following all of those bridge attempts. So this is one such bridge attempt right here. 3 guys going, and I'm just gonna get to the front and shut this back down. Most of the attacks were going on the climb, not too surprising. And then you had to stick it on this downhill and take some risks through that corner, which was so sketchy. The downhill second to last corner, I caught like 3 crashes on my camera, and I probably heard another 4 or 5 crashes behind me. There was guys going down. It felt like every other lap when we came through, somebody was just losing it in that corner. Guys could not handle the rain. But I felt pretty good through the corner when I was getting to go by myself. So like I didn't really mind being on the front through that corner, because it meant I could, carry a little more speed and maybe close down parts of the gap, which like finished closing up the gap here as we're like coming up onto the hill. And you can see more guys still wanting to go, and I was just surfing wheels. And that was what I did for like the first 30 minutes of the race. And I ended up missing the one move that did make it across my teammate Connor, which I was kind of bummed about. But still trying to make the most of the sprint finish we got left. So at this point, there's 3 guys up the road, I think. We're going to go around this corner here, and then when we cross the line, it is 1 to go. The peloton is not very big at this point. There's probably like 10 guys left in the race, since it felt like almost every time we came to this hill, somebody was willing to just flex a little bit on the way up and push the pace, which made it just kind of a war of attrition. I think 40 guys started, and like 10 guys left in the peloton at the end, so not so many. So this was kind of the last move that anyone tried to make, coming into 1 to go. Didn't really get anywhere. So I just sewed that back up, and I thought somebody would counter it for sure, because I wanted to counter it, but didn't want to chase too much. But we ended up coming over the top of this hill comically slowly, and I end up going to the front on this downhill. My thought being was, well, I've made it this far on this awful slippery course. I don't want to mess around with being in the group coming through that last corner, um, just in case like somebody tries to do some hero move to get through that wet downhill corner. So I am happy to go to the front here. I know it's probably not the best place to sprint from because there's still a long ways to go, but the plan was to just get through the corner upright and then punch it as hard as I could coming out so that everybody behind me also had to do that same big effort out of the corner. And it didn't end up working out too poorly. So, yeah, that's me punching it out of the corner. And then I think one guy from the Kelly Benefits team comes around me here. I was surprised nobody came around me sooner, honestly. Yeah, it comes past me right there. And I was like, oh, I'll just hold onto his wheel. But I was pretty tired at this point. Following all those moves definitely took their toll towards the end of the race, and I do not have the watts required to go with this. And I start looking back at this point, and I think one guy comes past me. Yep. And then, so I finished up in 7th place. Teammate Connor up the road finished up in 3rd. So pretty solid race for us in the 2-3s at Grant Park.